So today we're gonna be talking about the Denver Nuggets and the problem with them. And you might be like, problem with the Denver Nuggets? Aren't they third in the West behind the two most stacked teams in the NBA, being the Lakers and the Clippers? Well, yeah, yes they are. But I have no problem with them being right there. You know what I mean? I love the Nuggets; they're my team. But we're doing something worse than every other team. Now we might have the deepest team in the NBA behind the Clippers. When it comes to playoff teams. But here, I'm going to show you the problem. Here, let's simply talk about this problem. Let's look up the Nuggets roster. So what I see right here already is a bunch of young talent. You got Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, Bol. If he develops in the G League, he can be something great. MPJ was thought of as being the next KD in high school. Some more young talent could be like some Gary Harris. You know, he's still pretty damn young. But he did get worse this season a little bit. And Keita Bates-Diop, maybe he can be something in the G League. I don't know. I mean, I don't think so. But look, the Nuggets, we have a problem, okay? So we got this big two of Jokic and Jamal Murray. But Jokic and Jamal Murray ain't no LeBron and Anthony Davis. So all this depth around us, there's no problem with having this depth. You know what I mean? Because, you know, Will Barton, great scorer. I feel like I think he's like an 18 to 17 point per game scorer this season. For the Nuggets, he was ranked 9th all time. I mean, 9th as a 9th highest small forward in the league this year. Great talent. That's perfect. But why don't we play MPJ a little bit more? I feel like we should stagger their minutes to where there's always one or the other on the court. Torrey Craig, man, I love his defense, okay? It can come up big in the playoffs. But do I think he should be getting the amount of minutes he's getting over MPJ? No. We should be trying to develop this Michael Porter Jr. dude, okay? Yes, MPJ is a great scorer. And the coach does not like that. He's not that great on defense. But he's 6'10", has long arms, can jump out the gym. So isn't that all potential to have great defense? So we should put him in the lineup for sure. Now, do I think we should start him yet? No, I feel like he needs to still eat that back row. But I feel like him and Will Barton should get about the same minutes. If MPJ is not averaging like 20 minutes in the playoffs, and our problem is scoring, then we can just say, hey, Mike Malone, it's your fault you're not putting MPJ in. So what I'm saying we need to do is, for this team to work, we need to trade this depth away for a star. Now, right now, Paul Millsap, he's on last year of his deal. We could probably get him back for $10 million a year. He know how much he's declined. I love the dude, but $30 million is not how much he's gonna be paid anymore. He's 35, 33 to 35 or something like that. So he's not going to get paid that much. And that's fine. He's a great role player. Paul Millsap, to me, should be in the Hall of Fame. And, you know, that's pretty debatable, but, yeah. So I feel like we should trade a couple of our cool pieces. Jeremy Grant. What I feel like what we should do is do a sign and trade. Listen, I love Jeremy Grant, but he said he exceeded expectations on this side of the ball. Now, he averaged... I don't know what he averaged this season. Here, let me see if it pulls up his stats. Okay. He averaged 11 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist. Okay. Averaging 26 minutes a game. Decent stats. But he said he should be making more than $10 million. That's not more than $10 million. I mean, well, maybe that's $15 million. Yeah, I give that to you. But he was thinking like in the $20 million range. That is not a $20 million range. While we pulled up Paul Millsap, it's because the season before he was averaging 20 and 8 with like 4 assists. Like that's why you pay somebody, because he has such great stats like that. So I feel like what we should do is we should package Jeremy Grant and maybe like a Noah Vonleh or a Keita Bates-Diop, somebody who's still pretty young that has some potential, into a trade. And we should get, maybe we can't get a star back. We'll throw a couple picks in there. But I was thinking that we should go and get back the guy that we drafted, which was Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell, I feel like, would be the perfect glue on his team. If not him, it's Bradley Beal. But look, what Bradley Beal is just a Donovan Mitchell that can shoot better. You know what I mean? And less athleticism. So we'll take that too. I'm saying why we need more things on this team. It's because we're not going to last too long in the playoffs. The Western Conference is one hell of a bitch, okay? Now, if we get to the Western Conference Finals this year, bro, we're in great standing. That means we're like one piece away. I don't feel like we're going to get to the Western Conference Finals. The Lakers and the Clippers are just so overpowered. We saw them play us at their full peak, and they beat us by like 30, and that was in LA. And that's the Clippers. You know, the Lakers we can take, and it'll be a close game the whole time because we have enough scoring and defense to kind of figure out the Lakers. We can't stop anybody, but we can figure them out. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's my problem with the Nuggets. We have way too much depth, and yes, the past GM, like, I forgot his name. I cannot say his name either. But he valued depth, and I love it. But Jokic ain't no Anthony Davis, okay? I feel like to a certain extent he could probably become better than Anthony Davis, but right now he's not. And Jamal Murray ain't an all-star. So we need another all-star caliber, all-star player if we're gonna make this thing work. And listen, man, I don't know why we did this back in the day. I remember, I think was Trey Lyles on our team last year? I think so. But we traded Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert for Trey Lyles to the Jazz. Now, you see, Rudy Gobert was an overseas player. Not many people thought of him as that great. But he's a 7-foot-something big man. And right now, Mason Plumlee, bro, we just wouldn't have to pay Mason Plumlee. We could just put him in that role. And Mason Plumlee, I feel like he's making like $19 million a year. Or, yeah, $19 million a year. So that's perfect, right? Oh, and Donovan Mitchell? Come on, Donovan Mitchell. If we had Gary Harris coming off the bench with his great defense and we had Donovan Mitchell starting, you know, eventually, that'd be great. So the biggest problem I have with my Nuggets is we like depth too much. Well, you know, depth is great, and you can build that in free agency. But I feel like if you get a star and then that year is not too good because you don't have any depth, next year in free agency you could probably get some vets on some mid-level exceptions or any type of things like this to come play for you because they're like, okay, you're a legit title contender. And that's a problem with Denver, is that we have to trade for stars. We can't really attract them as easily as LA or like freaking New York. Well, New York, only Brooklyn really attracted anybody. RIP my Knicks. But we don't need to worry about depth right now. I feel like we need to trade some of that depth for stars. That whole coronavirus situation in Utah, we need to try and make that as emotional as possible. And if we ever meet them in the playoffs, we need to whoop them as hard as possible, because we're gonna try and use those emotions that are like inflamed because they just went through a COVID experience. And you know, Donovan Mitchell was mad at Rudy Gobert. They need to use that as like a piece to make them mad at each other. So then the Jazz will take less for getting Donovan Mitchell. Now, people have been saying we should trade MPJ for Donovan Mitchell. I don't think so. Nah. We have enough pieces and picks to where we don't have to give up MPJ or Jamal Murray or any of that, you know what I mean? So I feel like what we should do is, if we keep MPJ and we still have Donovan Mitchell, I don't think we should trade Will Barton for him. Will Barton, see, that's the tough part. I'd rather trade Will Barton for Donovan Mitchell because they're both smallish players for their position. Now, for Donovan Mitchell, he can slide right into the 2 spot. He's 6'3", 6'4". He can slide right into the 2 spot, and if MPJ gets good enough, he's a starting small forward. The only thing we have a problem with MPJ right now is his durability and his injuries. But yeah, so that's it for the video, man. Like I'm saying right here, I feel like MPJ can build a big three with Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic if he gets good enough to one day. He was seen as the Kevin Durant and a consensus first pick before he got injured in college. So I don't know why we wouldn't use that. You know, Will Barton's a great player, but I feel like we can get a decent package back for him. A place that we're lacking right now. The only place we're lacking right now is shooting guard, because Gary Harris decided to decline a little bit. If Gary Harris is still on his 18 point per game shit with pretty good defense, right now he has great defense, but it looks like he took away his scoring. Man, we'd be higher in the seeding now. You know what I mean? We wouldn't have a problem with the Clippers as much. We got blown out by the Clippers. That was embarrassing. But yeah, man, like the video, do all that, man. Shit. we'll see you in the next video.